to make things nice for you. It's my way. I'm trying.
You did.
But you keep on talking over me. I just said I'm scared to tell you and talk to you. And
Listen,
now I'm the shit guy.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. Yes, we're talking about why Tony, a husband, feels like he's afraid to even share his feelings with his wife. Why? Because he keeps getting shut down by her. How does she do that? By talking over him. I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship where your partner has spoken over you, or every time you're about to open up, they change the subject, or they take the conversation elsewhere, right? Yes, me too. And then they take the conversation and run on with the baton, right? Tony doesn't open up because every time he begins to open up, she shuts it down. And therefore, he has yielded to her request in the end. Many men want to open up to their partners and their wives, but we are afraid at points. We are scared of the vulnerability. It takes us a little bit more time because we process information differently. We oftentimes need time in our internal cave mentally to process the information first, then go out to speak about it. And so when we do finally get to courage to go and speak about it, what we need is emotional space. And for you to be able to respect that, give us time to say something. Don't be anxious to want to jump in. Now, I've probably given you the answers for the video already, but there's more to actually discuss and to dissect. So we're going to break it down. Why is it that men shut down in relationships? Why do husbands not open up to their wives? We're going to use Tony and Morena, who were Married at First Sight, season 12, episode 12. And they are key components of showing us why these things happen in a relationship. So before you go anywhere, make sure you do a massive favor. You like it, you share, and you subscribe to the wonderful channel as well. Little Black Book, you know what time it is. All right, let's watch another clip by Tony and Morena.
At times, I think she's very, very loud. Okay.
No. Well, do you know what I mean? No.
As you heard her words, no, she doesn't believe it. Now, with Tony and Morena, Tony, as a husband, has tried to express intimate thoughts before. Yes, sometimes he puts his foot in it, and sometimes he says things that are not helpful. But we have to understand that when he was at moments trying to open himself up, very much like in an upper episode where he came and sat down and told her, I want to tell you about my day, and she ignored him and started reading her book and telling him about the book, and not actually listening to him. So oftentimes he feels dismissed, he feels validated, he feels unheard, he feels unseen. And you can see that in his body language, and he shrinks in. And over time, what ends up happening is what we call an emotional withdrawal. The person wants to leave the relationship. They want to back up. They don't want to be involved anymore because they realize that actually this is very painful to do. And that wife is also frustrated because she complains that he doesn't ever open up, not realizing that she is a part of the problem and the solution to the issue. He's shutting down because she is shutting him down. And that takes a level of self-awareness for her to actually pay attention to how much she's contributing. We saw in the clip there, she said, no, and immediately invalidated his experience and said that that's not how it goes. She immediately shut down what his actual experience of her was because she felt like she knew better and the reality of how she was showing up in the relationship. That's where self-awareness comes in. Let's watch it one more time.
At times, I think she's very, very loud. Okay.
No. Well, do you know what I mean? No.
Men shutting down is often of a few different reasons why. Number one, we have to understand that when men shut down, it's because they feel that they're being unheard and it kills the vulnerability. So whenever time he goes to open up and she speaks over him, she kills the ability to be vulnerable, right? When someone's consistently interrupting you, they're actually breaking the flow of your thought pattern. And already it takes men a little bit of a while to actually open up and begin to share with you. So you need to slow it down. Stop being anxious. Don't always try to jump in. Don't try to, a me too situation. Like, I know what you're going, just use some fillers, you know what I mean? And if every attempt is met with criticism, correction, or dismissal, then they will stop trying. These are the places where you start to open up and someone's already being negative with you. Why would you want to open up? You are negatively reinforcing that they shouldn't open up and share with you. Okay, emotional space or emotional safety is very key for men. Men tend to process information in a way that they need time alone to be able to work through their thoughts. They don't want to speak out of turn. So they're processing their thoughts, where women process their thoughts through the conversation. Very different. And this is actually why we can end up having arguments between the two. They're seeing things differently. They're doing things differently. But for men, They need to open up a space where they can feel safe. And so that takes a little bit of a while before they start expressing feelings, because again, that's about vulnerability. And so a man will open up when he feels respected, cared for, and he feels it is a safe space where he feels he will not be criticized for his opinions and thoughts and feelings. And when he feels like he's going to be heard, right? And not being dismissed, as we saw. In fact, let's go to an earlier clip that we played in the very beginning.
I'm trying to make things nice for you. It's my way. I'm trying.
You did.
But you keep on talking over me. I just said I'm scared to tell you and talk to you. And
Listen,
now I'm the shit guy.
As you heard him say quite eloquently that, he's done X, Y, and Z, and he's doing these things to show her his affection and his love. And she said, yes, you did. And then he actually went on to say, I'm afraid to talk to you. Now, when your partner is in a space of being afraid to talk to you, it's because you're a dragon in that space. Whenever you are a dragon in an emotional safe space, your partner will always fear you. Now, Gottman says something really powerful. He says there should be couples that were at 20-1, meaning 20 good experiences versus a 1 bad experience, were far less likely, and I mean far less likely to be divorced. Why? Because there was always a good experience. But the couples that were less than 5-1 when it comes to the ratio of good to bad, they were often the ones that were divorcing. Well, in this instance here, this is what's going to actually happen if consistently in the safe space, I go to share and you consistently shut me down. There's always going to be a negative experience, meaning I don't have enough good experiences to override the negative part for me to really want to feel love and appreciation in this relationship. More than likely, I'm going to emotionally withdraw, okay? And so going to this point again, the repeated shutdowns cause emotional withdrawal, as we said earlier on. So when he wants to get deep and have conversation with her, he's afraid to do so because of what may come back his way. Okay? And so this creates the emotional distance that she's complaining about, that she actually wants to close the distance on. She needs to learn how to not be the dragon and learn how to be the princess. It's okay. There are times where, yes, he may get it wrong, and correct him, really so. But there's a way to correct someone. There's a way to tell someone that you don't like what they're doing. And this is something I've had to learn. Learn how to be assertive, not aggressive, nor passive. You need to find a way, which is being assertive. And that assertiveness protects their feelings as well as yours. Okay? How to fix it. First and foremost, for Morena, what she needs to do is listen. Okay? Let's play a little clip here.
A table of young ones to come heavy at me with advice.
You gave me the best advice ever. She, and you probably understand, so we come from...
She basically said, listen, you young ones can't tell me nothing. And that should let you know she's not going to listen to anything in a relationship either. She's not going to be told nothing. In fact, she didn't want to listen earlier on when he was telling her experience, let alone these young kids telling her something that maybe will be a little bit different. And even me saying young kids is an insult to them. These are young adults, if that, in comparison to her age. They're adults. So you must listen without interrupting, learning how to sit there and regulate your body and your mouth and your tongue, not to interrupt or interject, to control the scenario. Stop talking. Keep quiet. Observe with your eyes and listen with your ears. Let them finish their thought process. He doesn't get to finish his thought processes. We saw that. Right? Ask and don't assume. Instead of assuming in the silence with men, and if you've read the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, the silence doesn't mean that he is not present. It means that he's thinking. It doesn't mean he doesn't care. It means he's thinking. It doesn't when he's not being so necessarily talkative. Doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't care. He's probably processing. Right? So if you are concerned about him, you're concerned about the distance, like one of the people actually asked her, if you're concerned about him going home and going back to his home and not staying in the marital home, maybe the question you should have asked is, why is it that you felt led to go into your marital home, back to your actual home and not the marital home? Is there something that's happening to you? The questions need to be a place of inquiry, not judgment. But Morena's tone, words, is very dragon and very judgmental and very much, I know what I'm talking about. You're wrong. And that never promotes anybody's safety. She needs to validate his feelings. Understand that when he says he's afraid, be open to the fact that you are the one causing him to be afraid. All right? So I hear you. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. It's something I need to work on. That's it. This will make somebody more malleable towards what you want from them. Right? Give him time to go at his own pace. Right? If he's hesitant to talk, if he's not as quick to talk, just slow it down a little bit. Be okay. Don't pace it. Don't rush. You're not in a rush. Okay? You've been waiting all your life for love, she says. Then take your time. Right? And we build our trust in the conversational spaces, right? If they do open up, you reward them with saying, thank you for opening up. I really do appreciate it. right? Those positive reinforcements and regard help the other person to be able to say, like, oh, okay, so it's working. You know, I myself, I went through a transformation last year when it came to being vulnerable and sharing my own thoughts. I shared some intimate thoughts with somebody and I was scared. I can't lie to you, because I was like afraid of what they might think. But that level of vulnerability brought us actually closer and actually got them to understand where I was coming from. And so when I did say that maybe I didn't like this or didn't like that, it didn't seem like it was coming from a place of me being a dragon or me being hateful, but rather they understood that actually maybe I'm coming from a place of hurt or pain, or maybe I'm coming from a place of they want this, there's something that needs to be changed. We need to be able to have those conversations, right? And we can only do that when we have built trust in a relationship, all right? Relationship allows us to bring correction. So, have you ever met, for the men who are watching, if I'm lying, type in the chat that I'm flying. You know what I'm saying to you? But you know I'm talking the truth right now. So, if you've ever been through this as a man, type it in the chat. Type it in the comment section. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And for the ladies who are going through something similar, I encourage you, be open to communication. Stop being anxious. Your anxiety is allowing you to keep on talking, because you're afraid of the silence. Don't be afraid of the silence. Allow it to happen. Okay? Allow it to happen. And I know this video is giving you some insight. So if you're somebody who's struggling with this right now in a relationship or even in your single life, then reach out to us for one-to-one coaching. This is what we talk about. This is what we do. This is what we want to help people with. Okay. All right. And so we appreciate you as well. So don't be like Morena. Don't destroy that safe space. Allow them to finish. Let them land. And if they do say something that doesn't necessarily correspond, right, seek inquiry rather than judgment. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you stay locked, stay loaded. We're going to see you very, very soon. Much love and much appreciation.
You know what time it is.